Thank you, Mr. President. Nicos, may I offer once again condolences on the passing of your dear mother. I appreciate very much the fact that under these circumstances you have kept the date and invited the Prime Minister of Greece and myself to this annual meeting. This is an important tradition. I'll tell you why. A few years ago we had, less than 2 years ago I think, we had a fire in the Carmel forest. The fire nearly began to burn Haifa. Haifa is one of our 3 largest cities. The fire was stopped by Greek firefighters, planes that came. They had capacities that our firefighting planes didn't have. When we first had a forest fire many years ago, it was to Cyprus that I first called, and then to Greece. We since made our own force, but because of the temperatures, we needed another type of plane. And when the same happens here, we respond. Here's one example. How about yesterday? Yesterday, a policeman in Cyprus was badly wounded, shot, I think, and needed emergency care. He was flown to Israel, and is now receiving this emergency care to save his life. These are simple examples of something that is very real. We are building a great alliance, an alliance for good among our 3 democracies. I can speak today of 3 pipelines that you, Mr. President, mentioned. First, an energy pipeline. The East Med pipeline is a very serious endeavor. I think it's very important not only for our 3 countries and for Italy, but it's important for Europe that wants to diversify its energy sources. The second is an electricity pipeline. This is the interconnector that we want to build Israel, Cyprus, Crete, mainland Greece, and obviously Europe, the whole grid. And third is information pipeline, that is the fiber optics that we wish to include on the same path, and this will give us obviously tremendous benefits, perhaps ultimately the greatest benefits, because the greatest benefits are in information, in innovation, in exchanges that are constant. But there is a 4th pipeline. It's the human pipeline. I'm talking about 250,000 Israelis, 500,000 to Greece, 250,000 to Cyprus, who are coming to your beautiful countries, and the number is growing. Each time we meet, by the way, the number grows. Now, given that Israel's population is over 8 million, but not yet 9 million, we're talking about almost 10%. 1 in 10 Israelis visits either Greece or Cyprus every year. Now, all I want is reciprocity. All you have to do. I don't want any more than that. But you should know how welcome you are. And because we're discussing all these concerns and all these fields, they cover everything: security and energy and emergency services and health and tourism and high tech. We have, and so many others. We have, the sky's the limit, and I have to say that I find these meetings not merely productive, but also very encouraging. They encourage us about the future, because you have to look only a few years back, and it's almost inconceivable that our countries did not have this warm, intimate, and direct contact. We were, in many ways, isolated from each other, and that's incredible. We are 3 democracies in the Eastern Mediterranean. We have common interests, and we have common interests precisely because we have common values. We're committed to the same vision of how societies should be organized, how our freedom should be nurtured, how our pluralism should be protected, and I think we can do it better together than separately. I know that we can do it better together, and in fact, we're doing exactly that. You said, Mr. President, a minute ago, that it's unimaginable that anyone would challenge the right of the State of Israel to exist. In fact, there is a force that is doing precisely that, and that is the regime in Tehran. It openly calls daily for our destruction, the elimination of Israel from the face of the earth, and it practices unmitigated aggression against us and against everyone else in the region. It has a terror network that is spread throughout the world. It is now seeking to implant very dangerous weapons in Syria to be used against Israel for the specific purpose of our destruction. I think it's in the interest of everyone to prevent this Iranian aggression. If they reach the Mediterranean, they wish to establish military naval bases in the Mediterranean for Iranian ships and Iranian submarines. This is a palpable threat against all of us. I think that everybody recognizes the malign intentions of Iran, and I think everybody also recognizes Israel's right of self-defense, which is really our common defense. So I want to, again, seize the opportunity and thank you for your hospitality and your friendship, and to say how delighted we are that we have this opportunity to seize the future together. Normally, we have a saying next year in Jerusalem. I want to amend that by saying next year in Beersheba. This is the capital of the Negev desert, which is fast becoming anything but a desert. It is becoming one of the great cyber cities in the world, and I'd be delighted to host you in 2018 in Israel, in Beersheba. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, friends.